A very common question we see is, how can you make people around you care about privacy? The reality is there's really no single way to make everyone around you equally care about privacy, but all we can do is paint our different arguments and ideas in different ways and be creative. And that's what this video is about. This is a game called Prisma D. Let's check it out. Disclaimer 1, this is actually a research project, and I encourage people to play the game and complete the survey before watching this video to probably give them some better data that's organic to you. I reached out to them before making this and they said it was fine, but I still think the best thing to do for you if you're planning to do the research, which I encourage you to do because it's important, is to play it yourself before watching this video. Second, I've played this game myself already, so this is technically my second way through, but it doesn't matter, it's still fun. Nothing to hide. So this is your first challenge. You will get in touch with Ramiro, one of our clients. He paid to get access to our company services. Prism D. Help Ramiro in the best of your abilities. A prior scan of the data showed that the task is of medium difficulty. Let us not waste any more time. Waiting for you. Good luck. All right. I'm really curious if like those intros are necessary. Ooh. Industrial spy, Ramiro. Ooh, so it loads assets in real time. So that's why you saw the white background. Interesting. Okay. 2 months ago, there was a rumor about a new exciting technology resource developed. It can reduce water evaporation by 37%, which is huge. Okay, so I have to scroll here. Colleague Chelsea forgot her phone at work. I am only employed as an accountant. If you could, quickly skim through her data and copy any important info, that would be great. Okay, just right click on whatever you find sus. All right, let's start in the settings. Oh, I can't open the settings. Why was there settings put in there then? All right, we'll go into the chat. What's that? Oh, that looks like a, okay. It looked like a Hooters logo in the background, but it is not. Something could be, oh my God. Damn, Mika. Okay. Galloway, I would take another 2 pounds of Black Prince this week. All right, nothing seems sus around here so far. Farmer Janos, that's pretty sus so far. Load older messages. Oh, it doesn't load. Darn it. If only it was like a whole functioning virtual machine phone, right? Spray output. Ooh, right click. Oh, okay, red. Okay, let's see what Ramiro has to say about this. Okay, I don't see anything else with Farmer Janos. What? Did they miss an anniversary? Okay, these text messages are like very organic, and it's much more organic than like the game prompt. It'd be cool if like the game prompt, well, oh, there are the images. That's pretty realistic to a phone. All right, I don't see anything else in messages. Let's see if the home button works. Can I multitask? Oh, I can't. Okay, email, Amazon order has shipped. Nothing there, okay. Gym renovation, employee gym, there's a sample and pre-order. We were over United Tests. Looks like you've indeed found a sweet spot. Ooh, pressure output. This is good. Oh, there we go. Okay, attachments. This is Maya. What was her name? I need to know. We need to refer to people. Mika. Idiot. I'm such an idiot. Okay, nightlife. Is that Mika too? Is that Mika? Is everyone just Mika? Okay, nightlife looks safe. I'd love to see what phone took these photos. Work. Ooh, that's pretty incriminating. Ooh, man. This looks important. Oh. Okay, that's not important. That's not important. Oh, maybe it's this. It is that. What is that? Come on, Ramiro. Come on, Ramiro. Yes. How come I choose yes and no? I don't understand. Let's say yes. You're not convinced. What was the point of the last question? So confusing. So personally, having played the whole game before, all 4 games, this is my least favorite of the games actually. So I really encourage people who actually play Prisma D, which I encourage you to do, to like just keep that in mind. This was my least favorite one, to be honest. So the other 3 I enjoyed a lot more. But yeah, let's continue. All right, and so I finished the game, and it looks like, so you unlock little cool things here. So I unlocked these 3 on the bottom. Smart enough to spy, and so I think this kind of explains the philosophy behind each game. So the scenario presented is the first challenge, and is not unlikely as it might seem. And in experimental settings, researchers were able to use a compromised smartwatch in their favor, equipped with custom-built malware. It disguised as a Wi-Fi printer and intercepted print jobs, and thus gathered documents that could be sent to the attackers, which could do things like what the game was doing and like spy on what people are trying to develop. Here we go, choosing a good screen lock. And they go through a comprehensive article on Android Authority that covers the pros and cons of the common techniques. So that's really cool. So I think it's really about physical device security is what they're going with here. And then what our second brains may give away. I think this is a really good point of like the less information you share on a second brain that's accessible to other people, the better. And so avoiding putting things in digital format can actually be beneficial at times. And then of course, there's a much more thorough explanation of what I just said there. And then there's challenge 2. Let's do it. So this is about pedometers, 1 diagram, steps over a minute. In a minute, you'll see how many steps a person made in each hour of the day. Analyze the data and good luck. Okay, I like this a lot. So this is data from just a pedometer. That's it. Very simple device. All it tracks is the number of steps you take. I'm gonna add some context to this, and I'm sure the game will too, but we're gonna start with just the game. What do we know about this person's sleep cycle? So they take steps at, is that 6 a.m.? Okay, so they take a lot of steps at 6 a.m. and then they kind of just, so they're probably an early bird. Correct. More likely to be an early bird. Press enter. What do we know about this person's religion? Ooh, that's a good one. I don't think there's anything here about someone's religion we can tell. Okay, there's no clear indication. Cool. I'm sure if we combined other data points, we could find that out, but just with steps, that's kind of hard. Person's lifestyle, athletic, unfit, can't tell. I don't know. 5,400 steps in an hour is like really impressive. In fact, I want to see how, like, I'm trying to think, how many steps do I take when I run? Okay, so my running watch does not tell me, for some reason, at least it doesn't easily tell me the number of steps I take on a total run, but it tells me my cadence, which is around 180 steps per minute. So even if I'm running, which has a much higher cadence than walking, and I'm doing 180 steps per minute times 60, that is 10,800 steps in an hour. So it actually is possible and pretty reasonable to walk over 5,000 steps in an hour. I was curious about that, but I don't know if that's considered athletic. I'm gonna do can't tell. What do we know about the person's political views? Liberal, there's no way. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. What do we know about their workplace? Oh, okay. Damn, I hate how we use 12-hour time, and I always have to like convert to 24-hour in my head, but it should be the opposite. So they don't do anything during the day, and then they start yeah, I'm gonna say office job. Okay, cool. It is their wealth. If it's an office job, it could be higher income, but I guess, but like they could also just work at the cash register too. But it's a good deduction. Relationship status, I can't tell. Their age, probably younger, but I don't know. Old people can do a lot of steps too. Like all that we know about their activity levels, they do a lot of steps. We don't know how intense the exercise is. And old people can walk over 5,000 steps in an hour too. Hobbies, chess or gardening. I can't tell, okay. Lunch break activities. Ooh, I don't know. They did something at lunch break. It's not eating at a restaurant, so maybe grocery shop? But like, it could be anything. There's no clear, okay. That's annoying. What do we know about this person's attitude? Lazy, busy, or can't tell? Probably busy. Okay. Sexuality, straight, LGBT. Okay, I don't think. You're right, okay. Oh, all right. All right, I did better my second time around. I went through it quickly the first time because I didn't want to remember too much from the game. So what I really like about this game, I wish that they actually combined it with more things. So as you can tell, there are some things that you can deduce about a person's day-to-day life just based on a pedometer, which is literally such a simple device that only tracks the number of steps you take in a day. It's a very simple measurement that by itself doesn't seem revealing at all. But even with something as simple as the amount of steps you take, it's hard to claim that that data can be anonymized when you think about it, because again, like, look, truly anonymous data, you wouldn't be able to tell if someone has an active lifestyle, what their sleep cycle is like, if they likely have an office job or anything like that. And so I think this game does a great job demonstrating how even something as superficial as the amount of steps you take on a day-to-day basis can actually be tied to a lot of things that you do. What I wish this game did to take this a step further is combine this with even a few other metrics. Like if they combine this with location data, which is a very normal data point that a lot of people utilize, you can literally figure out everything here. Location data tells you everything about a person, everywhere they go. And when you combine that with other things, Like if you theoretically have someone's SMS messages, like you're a cell phone carrier and you have their location and you're able to tie that information with data brokers and they're able to get information from your pedometer, people know everything about you, yet they still claim it's anonymized, which is complete horseshit. And so I love this game for really just outlining how a simple data metric can be used against you, and this can really be scaled up heavily when you really combine it with other minor metrics and everything comes together to paint a perfect picture of who you are, which you don't have any control over, which is awesome. Oh, we unlocked 4 this time. So here we go. They're talking about smartwatches, and they're going to be using a lot of references here. We're not going to go through these because I want you to go through them yourself. What motion sensors tell you, accelerometers, pedometers, gyroscopes, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. And then the trustworthiness of that data, then your data is not yours. Again, like a lot of health data is shared really behind the scenes without your knowledge, which is really unfortunate. And so this is all good stuff to read through. I like how this game has the game, but then it really has the instructional aspect afterwards, which I think is really nifty and is going to help people who don't know about this stuff really understand privacy a bit better. No trespassing. Humans like to play roles. Yes, we do. Therefore, we will expose you to both personalities in the quest to attempt the latter, searching for data protection. Don't be too good at it, otherwise you might have to rethink your employment. Okay, so they're trying to hide some data collection here. Ha 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 ha! Ha ha! A lot of the prompts I think need some work. Just honest criticism. I still think that, again, the concept and everything's phenomenal. I'm just giving some criticism here. Let's start off easy. Imagine you own the beautiful smartwatch on the right. The pink icon is an app you installed called Workout Timer. It has proven to be very useful for your gym routines. Nonetheless, it has permissions to access your data as shown by the white lines. I'm afraid it might be leaking your location information, which I do appreciate. Okay. I don't. Fear not, there's a countermeasure. You can revoke permissions. To do so, select the corresponding tool. So this is very hands-on. Okay. Then click on a permission to revoke it. Okay, so this app here has these 3 permissions, and we need to revoke the GPS permission so it doesn't get our location data. So I'm going to click revoke. White line. Nice. No longer has access to GPS. What was that for anyway? 1 second. Did you really believe that would be it? Have you ever thought about the connection between your smartphone and your smartwatch? Your workout timer is also installed on your smartphone, from where it can communicate with the smartwatch version. By doing so, it can send your delicious location information from the smartphone to the watch. What an interesting way to describe location information. But I like that. Delicious. How nasty. Oh no, you can't go from delicious to nasty. Nonetheless, I guess you know what you have to do. We won't let them get your location data. Okay. So, okay, this whole like graph is looking a little confusing now. So we have to do something on the phone, and here's the workout app. So boom, I'm guessing it's this line. Revoke. Boom. Can help against suspicious apps. This is just Facebook in a nutshell. This is literally Facebook on the entire internet. But like this is just a metaphor for Facebook. That's really all it is. So this is the new app, which is from the same vendor as this app, and this app has GPS location information, and so we're going to revoke that. Looks like the same communicate, maybe over storage. Quite criminal, these apps. So it could be done over storage. You know, this is actually improving a lot on both iOS and Android. iOS and Android are both doing better about having mitigations in place to stop apps from doing things like communicating with each other and escaping their sandbox and doing crafty things on tracking users. So that's all good. But with that said, if you have Facebook and Facebook Messenger on your phone, and Facebook Messenger has a location permission, but Facebook doesn't, it's still the same account. Behind the scenes, they can share data with each other. And then the other thing too is a lot of apps do have trackers in them, like Google Analytics, Facebook Analytics, lots of other analytics companies. And those analytics companies can also correlate data between applications as well. So that's where things get a little tricky here, is that even if it's not from the same vendor, there's still possible ways to tie apps together. And it's why we're big proponents of minimizing the apps you install as a first step, deleting things you don't use, and then trying to use open source / private alternatives to things when you can, because the more of those that you do, the better off you're going to be. Let's try out this new tool. Activate it and click on the app to turn it into a web version. Oh my God, I am so glad they do this. Oh, I love it. I am a simp for web apps. Total simp for web apps. for so many reasons. I'll talk about them soon, but it looks like it might cover these. Okay, when you use services in your browser, they can access a lot less data. You may still grant the website GPS access, but it cannot track you all day in the background. This is true. The reason why I like web apps, one, you almost get double permission management because your browser has to go through the permission management on your operating system, but lots of browsers also have their own permission management. So you can actually disable permissions on a per site basis. And then you can also configure things to be more private and secure on certain websites depending on the browser you're using. On top of that, I trust a browser that's being universally developed for endless threat models and endless uses, and it's being watched over by thousands of eyeballs, to have a stronger security model on a phone than each random application. Now, there are situations where each individual application can actually be more secure, like some banking apps, you can make arguments for those being more secure than the website. Same thing with things like end-to-end encryption with like Proton Mail and cloud storage. But generally speaking, I love web apps. They just give you so much more control, they give you a lot more customization, and they give you that forced separation so things get off of your device, which I think is generally a good thing on the privacy front. But you know what? You can end this once and for all. You can find a different, more trustworthy app for your workouts. Let us uninstall this spyware. No! So we're gonna uninstall, which app? This one? Hey, that feels better. I would recommend using preferable open source apps from trusted sources, but don't tell my bosses at Prisma D. They would not like me to tell you that. So fun. I love that game. It is, I feel the story behind it isn't great. It's very, like throwing it in your face kind of energy. It's not like organic. It's not like an organic situation that people are just going to be like, I'm playing a game. It's more of an explanation kind of game. But it's still very important, and I think it does demonstrate a thing that not a lot of people think about, so I think it's good. So the 3 ones that are unlocked, drawing the invisible of the ecosystem. So this is going to talk about how ecosystems can likely correlate data together, which is very true. We talked about that. Sharing is scaring. So this is going to talk about communication between a new device and the phone. I do want to actually add kind of a update to this. This is a little bit outdated. The point still stands that you should never over rely on permission management on your phone. Let's say you disable the location permission for an app on your phone. Yes, it won't be able to directly access your GPS location, but in the past and even to this day, there still can be some workarounds to still obtain your location information without having the permission. With that said, a lot of these examples and this issue's only gotten better, which is actually like a really good thing. iOS and Android both have been taking a lot of mitigations the last several years to make this better. And so you'll see a lot of these quoted research articles are from 2016, 2017, 2018. There's not much since 2020. Not that they don't exist anymore, they're just a little bit harder to find. So we're gonna go back to the light and we're gonna do our final game, A Day Without. Nice that you finally woke up. I can see that you're a little bit confused. You don't know how you ended up here. Your colleagues are just having some fun with you. Last night, you agreed to carry out this little experiment. Still not getting it? They brought you to this hotel room and left a note as a challenge for you. Oh, that's scary. Hi there, did you have a good sleep? Anyways, it is time to come back to us. We want to know how much you remember. So here's a challenge once again. Come to this address. You're not allowed to use Google services. And by the way, you're in a hotel near the Fisk Planetarium. Good luck and see you there. Some smartphones here. Okay, so it looks like this auto scrolls, unlike the first game. So it's just the first game that doesn't auto scroll. Oh, I gotta choose a ROM. They left some smartphones here that will assist you. Pick wisely. Oh my god. Okay, I'm being put on the spot, but they said you can't use Google services. I'll just use Lineage. Cool. Quick note, you can always go back in time by pressing the up arrow key to explore alternative choices. This also applies when you run into Google somewhere. Now that you have a smartphone, I would suggest using it to find out where you are. Your colleague said something about the planetarium. Let's find that. Which browser would you like to use for your search? I'm a Brave simp, low-key, like lately especially, so we're gonna go with Brave. How courageous. Did you know that Brave is built upon Google Chrome's open source core Chromium? They might take some additional measures to prevent tracking on the web. Cool. I like how they explain the tools a little bit. You can choose a search engine. Okay. Oh, okay, all right. I'm gonna go start page. So-called meta search engine with results from Google, but without sharing information with them. Since Google does not notice, I will let you that count. All right, cool. Why don't we go down in the street? You may choose between the elevator, the fire exit staircase, and the normal stairs. I mean, I'll take the stairs, I guess. All right. I guess that was the correct answer. Was there a correct answer? Have you been to Boulder? Me neither, so we should probably look up where to go. I'd probably just use my browser. That's like how I navigate. I just use my browser. Yeah. Perfect. I'm glad that was even an option. Good job, game devs. Which web service exactly do you want to use? Frankly, when I'm in my web browser, I have no issue using Google Maps because I trust my web browser to keep the data within the browser and it's all in an incognito window, and I like Google Maps. So I'm going to do Google Maps. Quite, nonetheless, it's a Google. So I'm not allowed to use a Google service. Okay, so I'll use DuckDuckGo then, which I think uses Apple Maps. Okay, here are the results. Apparently, we have to travel about 2 miles to Pearl Street. There are different options to get there. Let's see. There's Uber. We could take the bus, and there seems to be some bikes nearby. Okay, I'm like pro bike, pro walk. So like I'm anti-US essentially. What can be wrong about a good bike trip? Okay, for your convenience, I've compiled 3 routes. One leads through a park, one through a church, and one has a stop at a bakery. You might have some breakfast. Well, I'm always game for food, so you know what I'm gonna pick. Literally, I eat all day. Like, there's no way. What a delicious. At least they only accept Google Pay. Oh, that's some crud. Translator. All right. I don't recognize this one or this one, but that looks like DeepL. That's Google Translate. I'll just do DeepL because I've used it before. All right, it is DeepL. All right. Are you back? Nice. Welcome to the local Google office. We're happy that you local engineers made your way here from the headquarters. What? I'm so confused. So you're a Google employee the whole time? Then why are you trying to avoid Google? I'm lost. I'm lost on the story of that game. Okay. Apparently I shouldn't have gone to the bakery, which I'm like... I feel a little shamed right now. All right, and then we got 2 new articles. Google is with you. This is very true. Google is a very privacy invasive company, and they are pretty much everywhere. And so, yes, this is not a vibe. And then we also go into good alternatives. So that was, I think, the main point of the game was they were covering alternatives. And I do want to point out they have some awesome resources, and they even linked to our website, which was so sweet. That's actually the reason I discovered it. Someone's like, hey, they referenced your website. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So I'm really glad that they trust us enough for recommendations. And that is all the articles. Like, this is all, like, these are good articles. They teach people things in a very well presented way. Well, that's the game. Let me blow myself up a little bit. Whoop! All right, I'm the center of attention. Honesty time. First off, ooh, let me lower myself a little bit. First off, I tell everyone this, literally everyone. We need more creative people in the privacy world. I want more creators out there. I want more artists out there. I want more people making things out there to really show the importance of privacy and security. I think art and expression are extremely powerful ways to reach people, whether it's photography, video, any version of art, game development, anything. Like, I think this stuff slaps. This, to me, was good. I like it. I understand the direction. I don't know if it's something that I'm going to share with people around me as like, hey, you should play this game because it's fun and it's going to teach you something cool about privacy. I think for them, it would feel more like, oh, this feels very direct. It's very like, what's the word? It's very on the nose. It's very, it's not organic, I feel, as a game. So I feel it holds up as a privacy tool in a way, like an educational privacy tool, but it doesn't hold up as well as a game. And so I think that's my main criticism for this is it needs to be a better game so that people feel like they're just playing a game and it naturally exposes them to some of the concerns regarding privacy. That's what I think would be like the most effective, perfect game. With that said, I seriously appreciate this effort, and these are just my thoughts, and maybe you'll find this a fantastic game that you're going to share with people. Either way, I seriously appreciate this effort, and I think this is awesome because, like, we just need more stuff like this out there. So, again, if you made it this far, I really hope you liked this video. I don't really do things like this, and we never really get the opportunity to do gaming-type content, so this is probably the closest thing we'll get to gaming content. With that said, this is also research. There is a survey that's tied to this. These are people actually trying to analyze this and try to make it better, and that kind of research can help other people possibly develop another game too. And so make sure you do the survey. I hope you did it before I played the game because I don't know how that might, I guess, impact the survey or if it will at all. Just to be safe, I hope you already played it, but I think it's really great and I think it's awesome. And if you're inspired by this, like, do something. Like, you can do it. And also let me know about it because I want to hear about it. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this type of content and you're kind of early on in the privacy journey, we have a Become Anonymous guide that I'm going to leave Or you know what, I'm on the other side of the screen, so I'm gonna leave it on the screen over on this direction that covers kind of like how to get started and how to pretty much take things from beginner to pro and anywhere in between. You get to choose what you're gonna do. So I highly recommend checking out the Become Anonymous guide. It is fantastic. And it's a great resource for you to get started on your privacy, security, and even anonymity journey. See you next time on Techlore.